Healing is the resolution. Love is the language. Healing starts with a choice to stand for unity, for compassion, for change. Across our community, every sector is stepping forward. Individuals, faith leaders, educators and educational institutions, athletes, government officials, business leaders, health professionals, law enforcement, and fire service, each taking the pledge in their own way, yet united by one purpose. Because when we all choose healing, our community moves, our city breathes, and hope comes alive. Join the movement. Take the pledge at www.the411live.org. Print your pledge. Take a picture holding the I took the pledge and post it on your social media page with the hashtag the411live, hashtag I dare you to heal. Now, I dare you to heal.
Congratulations! Nice. West African food in the building.
Welcome to West African food. Ghanaian dishes, Ghana jollof, Nigeria jollof, everything. Omutsu, wachi, fufu, everything.
Yes. Mableton, you guys gotta come get it.
Oh, yeah.
The 411 Live.
Where you can learn about issues that impact us every day. State of world, 411 Live.
Real people, real talk.
Made to help people in our community in every way. For your girl, 411 Live.
Have you ever thought about starting a business, but then thinking about it, starting from scratch, you're just like, that's too much. Can't do it. And you just let the idea go away. It's just a non-starter for you. Well, bring that back. What if you bought a business that already existed? Hello, I'm Beverly Taylor, and this is the 411 Live. Real people, real talk. Today, I will be talking to a young woman who would love to help you buy a business or would love to help you sell a business if you already have one. I am talking today to a young woman named Allura Engel, 21. She's a business advisor at Buy Sell Edge. Now, this young woman has had a nice little journey. I mean, from 12-year-old seller of, I think they call it waist beads, to going on and getting her real estate license and then deciding I want to put my toe in the merger and acquisition realm. All of this happening, and she also, I understand, helped to close an acquisition of like a $500,000 business. Well, I'm going to bring her in so you can hear about all of that, but also joining her, Allura's father, and that is Ben Engel. And of course, he's that cushion and that support that's underneath her. And he is, of course, in his own right, a magnificent business person himself. He's gone through a whole lot of things. And he is the managing director of Buy Sell Edge. And you'll hear more about that company, too. So first of all, I just want to say welcome to Ben and Allura. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are coming to us from Atlanta, but you have some Milwaukee ties, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that. You guys lived in Milwaukee for a while?
Yes, we moved to Milwaukee. I actually grew up in Milwaukee, came when I was 5 years old from Ghana, West Africa, and our family stayed there most of the time. We moved to Atlanta just recently, actually, about 6 years ago.
Oh, very cool. So, Allura, how old were you when you left? I mean, you went through elementary school here, middle school here in Milwaukee?
Yes, I went to middle school in Milwaukee, and right after I graduated 8th grade is when I moved to Atlanta. So
Excellent.
15 years old.
Okay. All right. So I want to start with your journey, okay? Because I've read some things about you, and I've kind of looked at your Facebook because you're really good in social media. Uh, But you were 8, and I saw the cute little picture of you as 8 years old. Very cute. And your idea of your future was to be an actress, a model. That was, you know, where you were going. Somewhere along the way, things kind of shifted, and you went through that kind of that business realm, that entrepreneurial realm. What shifted for you?
Um, so I was in modeling and acting for a while, and then just watching my dad be an entrepreneur was fun for me. It looked good. We always on vacations. He was able to do whatever with his time, but he was very busy, worked a lot. But I really started was with waist beads is
Hmm.
I had waist beads and my family they live in Africa and every time they go visit my friends would say, "Hey, can you bring me some waist beads back?" And it was starting to get a lot of people that were interested. So I kind of asked my dad like, "How can we do this where I can make money because you're just buying the waist beads and I'm just giving them to my friends or people that wanted waist beads." So then that's where that came around where we were like, we can put this into a business. And I started to learn a lot about inventory, and that was more fun than acting.
When I was talking to you, Ben, you were saying, these ventures that she went through at such a young age, these were teaching moments, right? And she's talking about inventory and that kind of thing. Kids her age probably weren't thinking about that, but you took it and helped her grow in that area. So are you, as she's going, just saying, okay, this is what this means. This is what you need to do here. How did that work?
Yeah, we just took it as an opportunity to just have conversations on how applying the stuff she was doing to real world practices, and in a fun way. So she was really enjoying it. So I said, hey, let's start tracking some of this stuff and turned it into using a spreadsheet. So learning how to use a spreadsheet from tracking the inventory and the purchases, starting in a small way and just so she could learn the concepts as they got bigger. Turned into when she get into high school, started doing the same thing, selling candy and different things out of the school. It turned into one box, turned into 10 boxes at Sam's Club, turned into two full carloads every week, and begging us to constantly go and keep re-upping on candy to the point where the school shut her down. So. She always was taking those opportunities and learning about pricing from learning, what the costs were of the business and charging her different fees to like understand the different costs of fuel and all the things that go into selling stuff so that she could have a full encompassing idea of what it's like to have your own business if you actually want to do that.
That is so cool. So, Laura, did you just, I mean, were you into it? You just really loved it?
Oh yes, it was fun for me, especially well, waist beats and selling at school. Um, Yeah, so we would go to Sam's Club every Sunday, re-up, and I sold out every day at school. Long lines out the door. People would come knock on my class door asking for me if I had snacks. It started to be a lot, and I was trying to think of a different way. I'm like, how can I do this where it's not causing disruption? Because teachers are starting to give me that eye. So,
Right.
but eventually, the principal came to me and was like, I like what you're doing. You're hustling. But they did say it was starting to be too much for the teachers, so I had to stop. But it was nice. Really learned a lot about inventory numbers. My dad and mom were taking money from me, like, okay, you gotta pay this fee, you gotta pay this fee. So just learning a lot about owning a business was really nice.
One thing I
Did
saw
that,
that she did that I really
uh-huh.
liked is knowing the market. She was able to know, even in a small way, it was knowing what candies were selling and what wasn't. So being able to say, just analyzing the business and making different decisions on the go. I always was fascinated at how she was able to do stuff like that at a young age, even with little stuff like candy.
That's very good. And I commend you because you gave her that space. Sometimes kids will come up with ideas and it's like, well, that takes some money, that takes some time, and we're not doing all that. But you gave her that space to do that and to expand. So I commend you for that.
I do.
I also want to delve into this whole, when you were in high school, you decided, hmm, don't want to go to college. And I want to find out why you went that way, why you felt that way, and Dad's reaction to that. So I'll start with you first, Laura.
Okay, so I would say around junior year is when I started to really think deep into what I want to be and what I want to get into. Because at school, they were talking about college a lot. You have to fill this out. And I'm like, okay, let's really think here. I knew I didn't really want to do school if I didn't have to.
Mhm.
I saw people that went to school and what they did after school. I saw people that were entrepreneurs that didn't go to college. So I was weighing my options. And again, growing up watching my dad, I'm like, I like him as an entrepreneur. So yeah, it was no, in junior year, that's when I realized I wanted to maybe see a different option. So I went to my parents and I asked, would you guys be mad if I didn't go to college? And they said no, as long as I had a plan. So I'm like, okay. So I just started thinking long about what I want to do. I was already a little bit interested in real estate. So I just learned a lot more about it, saw what age I needed to be to take the class. And that's when I switched all the way. And then after high school, that's when I graduated high school. And then I went to take my real estate class and pass my test. Then joined the team with my dad.
Very cool. Dad, what was that conversation like of, I don't want to go to college?
It was tough because my initial reaction inside, I wanted her to go to school,
Mhm.
and but I didn't want to come off as not supportive of the decision that she did make. And once she had a plan and the way she went about it and the steps she was taking, I started having less fear about her not going to school and paving her own way, with whatever route she would end up taking. So we got supportive, we were supportive about it, and whether she, maybe took a year off, went to school, or just didn't go to school at all, we were going to support her in whatever career choice that she made.
All right. That sounds good. So you went to, you're studying for that real estate license, doing, odd jobs. You had jobs and doing different things, right?
Yeah.
Um, as you're waiting for that to happen, you passed that test, that Georgia real estate test, and got the license on the first try.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. That's
Yeah.
very good. And then you said, what? I don't want to be a real estate agent.
Yeah, so I'll say while I was taking my class, I was learning more about what my dad do, and I knew I still needed a real estate license for what my dad do. So I was just learning more about what he does, and it was different. It's a lot of real estate agents, and it's starting to be a lot of agents. I'm like, it's not a lot of people in your space. So I started to ask him a lot of questions. So this is while I was studying for my test. I asked him a lot of questions about what he does, how I can benefit, how it would work for me, what I'll do. And it was just different. And I just was like, okay, I think I'm going to join with my dad. And then we just talked about how we can grow a great business working together. So I was excited and I was wanting a different way with a real estate license as well.
Very cool. You said, Ben, that you're from Ghana. You grew up in Ghana. I'm sure, and I'm thinking, I don't know, but I'm thinking that there was a very entrepreneurial kind of influence there. Do you think that kind of passed on to how you raised Alora?
Mm.
I would definitely say yes. Ghana is a hustle culture. You have to be an entrepreneur to make it. I mean, there's jobs, but most people there that are making it are an entrepreneur. They're finding their way, and I think that's instilled in a lot of us. So it's definitely in our household.
Very cool. So then you start shadowing your dad. Is that pretty much what you're doing? Um, Now you have the real estate license. Do you have to have a different license to be a business broker?
No.
Okay. So you're deciding this is the route I want to go.
Mhm.
And then this last year you get your license and then you help your dad with the acquisition of this business of $500,000. Is that right?
Yeah, so after I got my license in February, I joined the team right after, and yeah, that lounge came about, I think, in March, and that was one of our first deals within the new firm. And yeah, I just worked closely with him on this deal. I just learned a lot about negotiations, numbers, how to talk to people, and it was just exciting to see the first deal close. And it really was a turn because I was working at a job where I clock in. So I definitely saw the difference where I'll get paid every 2 weeks. And then now I didn't get paid until we closed, but it
Mhm.
was worth it at the end.
I'm sure that that was a wonderful feeling, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure Dad was real proud of you.
Oh yeah, it definitely helped me for the listings we have now, sharpened me within the job, and I knew exactly, okay, this is what I'm getting into. Learn a lot from experience. So this I learned a lot during that first listing.
Very good. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to get into a little bit more about this business acquisition because we're talking about it and kind of talking around it. And I want to make sure that people understand what this is all about. And it might pique some interest for a lot of people. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the 411 Live.
People couldn't see my potential, so I had to show them.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
Today, I'm the CEO of my own company.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Why are we not rethinking this?
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
My roommate Taylor lost her mom and just a few weeks later went through a really bad breakup. She felt hopeless. She kept a gun for protection. And I just couldn't let something preventable happen. I pressed pause. I filed a firearm restraining order to temporarily remove the gun. It wasn't easy for Taylor, but she got the help she needed. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal.
I'm here with Luke, and he's telling me that it is so much better to buy a business that's already making money than to start one from scratch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like we like to get our money back, and we are not starting from scratch with, a lot of delays. We choose to start operations on Saturday. We got our business on Thursday, so amazing, highly recommend it.
Yeah, so do not be the one who starts a business from scratch and takes a long time to make their money, don't have any employees, waiting for that first customer. Be the one who buys the business and makes money that next day.
Welcome back to the 411 Live. I am talking to a father-daughter team, Allura Engel and her dad, Benjamin Engel, and they are business brokers, among other things. I think Allura is a social media queen too. So that is another title that I'll give her. I want to talk about the whole thing of business acquisitions because at the beginning I was talking about person, wanting to start a business and thinking in terms of starting it from scratch. You may be thinking, oh, I need a building, I need to do this, I got to build or whatever. And it just seems so overwhelming that they just say, it's just too much. Not thinking about the possibility of buying a business that already exists. And I wonder if it's something that's not thought about a lot in the African American community. So, Ben, I'm going to throw this to you because I know you've been in this arena for a long time. Uh, just give us a little school us, I guess I want to say. School us a little bit.
A lot of people, especially in our community, when they think of entrepreneurship, it's always gung ho on starting a new business. A lot of people going right into restaurants or something that they're comfortable with. When truly there's a ton of businesses owned by people in their 50s, 60s, 70s that are ready to retire that need to be taken over. And there's a huge opportunity for people to acquire those businesses. The cool thing about the businesses that are out there that are for sale, a bank can help you with the loan to acquire this business, and they'll assess the business more so than they assess you, the buyer. So the business financials can really help you buy the business that you're buying. So a lot more people qualify for these acquisitions than we realize.
Oh, wow. So that's kind of that option that's sitting on the table that's not being looked at by a lot of people. And that opportunity is just sitting there waiting, and sometimes we're just walking around it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay. So Alora, how is it? So you had that big success, and that was last year. So you're walking in this, and have you helped many more people purchase businesses?
Yes, we've closed multiple more businesses since last June, buy side and sell side. So entrepreneurs looking to buy a business and owners selling their business.
I'm wondering how that makes you feel, because I can imagine somebody who steps in it and they're able to purchase this business where this is like a dream come true. I mean, what are those emotions and those feelings that you see through them and what you get out of it?
It's really exciting because this is one of the biggest decisions they'll make, probably bigger than buying a house because this is something that's making you money. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it's exciting because a lot of people they're coming from working a job they was clocking into. So it's just a different take and nice to watch. So it's great to
Yeah.
watch people get into ownership and yeah.
Yeah. And then that feeling that you get, you help them
Yeah,
achieve their dream. Yeah.
yeah, helping through the process and now they're happy and I'm happy. Yeah.
If
In the
somebody,
ups and downs of the process.
Huh?
Help
go
them through
ahead.
the ups and downs of the process. It's a very emotional roller coaster of making that acquisition. I mean, deals die 10 times before they close, and so you develop a close bond with the buyers or the sellers, whoever we're working with.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so if there's somebody out there who's thinking, "Oh, I like this idea. This is something that I think I would like to check out." What what's your advice of where do they need to start as far as looking for this?
I would say they'll need to start by knowing what they're experienced in, looking at different businesses, different industries, learning about their financial options, how they can acquire and get money for the business. Yeah, I would say to start there.
Yeah. And what you mentioned, knowing, you know, what you're kind of acquainted with already, because it seems like going into something that you've never dealt with, never had any experience with, is almost a recipe for failure. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it could be a recipe for failure versus going into a business that you have some kind of knowledge of. Am I on the right track, Ben?
Definitely. We definitely encourage people to utilize their backgrounds and what they've had
Mhm.
success in, what they have comfort in, and going into entrepreneurship with those skill sets. If you've working in an HVAC company and you've been doing that, there's a good chance that you could be successful at running an HVAC company. So consider your job as being kind of your school for being a business owner in that industry.
Okay, very cool. And then on the flip side, somebody who you mentioned somebody might be about to retire, 70, they're getting up there. Or somebody may be in a business where they had a lot of passion for it, it did well, it's doing well, but the passion is kind of gone. They're like looking kind of somewhere else and
Mhm.
they're almost ready to step out. What's your advice for them?
They shouldn't wait because if you're ready to step out, that means it's going to start showing to your team, to your business. And as soon as it starts showing, you start losing the value of your business. So, you if you are at a high point and you are thinking about getting out, you should get out before you start putting the brakes on the business and showing a plateau. Businesses sell for a lot more when they're on an uptick versus a downturn, and so on that way up is a good time to sell if you're having that feeling. If you're looking to retire, a lot of people think it's a daunting process to make an acquisition, but hiring an advisor like us, we really step you through the process. It's not as daunting as you think, and and we take you through from A to Z so that it'll be a successful sale, and everything will be considered.
Do you still work in Milwaukee?
Yep, we're licensed to do work in Georgia and Wisconsin.
Very cool. Very cool. So if somebody wanted to get more information about this, what's their best route? They want to contact you guys. What's the best route?
Our
Make
website, buyselledge.com. Sorry, Laura.
Buyselledge.com, right?
Yeah.
Got it. What are your last thoughts? Because we're getting down to the final minutes. What are your last thoughts, things that you want to leave people with? Alora, it could be many things, but I kind of want you to speak to kind of the young people, the 19 to 20-year-olds who are thinking, okay, what do I want to do? What should I do? I have this idea. Speak to them because you have started out, you're successful at a very, very young age. So we know it can happen, right?
Yeah. I'll say if you have an idea of doing something, do it. Do not wait. Do not think you have to be all the way ready or 100% ready. Because you can watch a YouTube video, you can get an ebook, you can get a book, but you're not going to learn until you experience it. You have to go through the uncomfortable to be successful. So I'll say that if it's okay if you don't want to go to college, there's a lot of different opportunities out there. Buying a business is a great opportunity. A lot of people want to start from scratch, but you can buy an existing business that's profitable. So if you guys want to learn more, you can go reach me at fundedtoown.com, where I have weekly seminars talking about teaching entrepreneurs how to buy a business.
And how about you, Ben? What do you want to leave people with?
I would like to piggyback on what you said, really just getting going on your ideas. And a lot of people will push you into, you have to go to college, you have to follow this path. There's a lot of great opportunities out here that if you go to a trade school, if you learn how to be an HVAC technician, if you learn how to be an electrician, right now, those kind of jobs with AI and everything, those kind of jobs are still really good jobs to have and are going to weather that storm a lot longer. So there's a lot of great trades out there. There's a lot of great opportunities. And even when you're taking those steps, you can learn how to be an entrepreneur and end up owning the type of business that's in that space, and making a great amount of money, a great livelihood for your family, and not feeling like that have to keep up with an office job. There's tons of opportunities out there, and we like to help people see them through.
Excellent. Hey, thank you both for joining me. This has been a great conversation and inspiring. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for sharing with us on the 411 Live.
Thank you,
for having me.
Taylor.
You're welcome. I've been talking with Ben and Allura Engel, and they are with Buy Sell Edge. You can go buyselledge.com, business brokers, and they have given us a lot of good information. And I hope that it has inspired some of you out there to step in that entrepreneurial area and possibly buy a business and not have to start from scratch. And thank you for joining us for another episode of the 411 Live. We love bringing you interesting conversations and interesting people. We are a nonprofit organization, so if you would like to partner with us, go to our website, the411live.org. Until next time, I'm Beverly Taylor, and this is the 411 Live. Real people, real talk. If you would like to check out past episodes, there are many ways. Go to your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram. Like and watch us on Facebook. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have suggestions for future episodes, go to our website, the411live.org.